cue that intro. Let's go. Let's get done.
Oh, is this 4 now?
4.
4, dang. For the faithful. Showtime faithful, welcome back to Showtime College Football. Today we are sponsored by CFB Team Fantasy, the new college football fantasy game where you draft teams, not players.
Today we are going to be talking about our Big 12 Conference overview, our championship game predictions, some win totals, standout players, and everything else we can talk about.
Your hot takes. We have like 100 already, from 30 minutes ago. We're going to pick them at random, so if we don't get to yours, sorry, we'll save it for next time.
Yeah. It's going to be crazy, though. There's a lot of hot takes. I quickly looked at a bunch of them, and some of them are a little wild.
College football faithful.
That's what I love about it.
That's like one of my favorite things about college football is I feel most other sports, like there's hot takes, but most people have the same opinion. You know? Like if we were to predict the NBA next year, I have a feeling most people would say probably the same 4 or 5 teams. But college football, especially now with the 12-team playoff and who gets in the playoff, it's like the hot takes just expand. You can there's so many
cloud.
There's so many teams that could just sneak in.
There's so much confusion.
No
one
Virginia
knows
Tech,
what they're talking about.
Hokie Nation, stand
Virginia
up.
Virginia Tech's going off this year. There's no way. If any of you guys listened to our last podcast, go listen to it right now.
That was a deep dive.
There's no way Virginia Tech is 11-1 or
Enter
worse.
Sandman.
They are 11 or 12
I'm living
wins.
by that right now.
Yeah, there's no way that it's not that. It's absurd.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
But yeah, so that's one of my favorite things about college football, especially reading the comments of you guys. It goes back when we post 2011, Oklahoma State. I love seeing all you guys remembering that time and Oklahoma State deserved to get in. Bama robbed them. That's when the SEC bias came.
That 2011 Oklahoma State team was stacked.
Dude, they were insane.
That's the time that Bama and LSU rematched in the for a defensive battle. That was. I mean, I'm not complaining.
What was the final score?
7-6 or something.
I was gonna say, wasn't
or no, I think the regular season game was 7-6.
It was 7-3.
And then the national championship was 13-10 or something.
Oh,
I can't remember what it was.
That's riveting.
There were, in 2 games, there was probably only less than 4 touchdowns scored.
Goodness.
In 2 games.
I guess defense wins championships, but I feel especially we're kind of getting off topic, but I feel since 2010, you saw when Bama won 42-7 against Notre Dame. It's the Bama defense was the reason they won championships. They had some good players like Derrick Henry that kind of ran all over people, but overall I feel early 2010s was the defense that kind of showed why they're the champion. Yeah. But now I feel now it's who can score the most points.
Yeah. And to a degree, I like the defense a lot. I like the defensive games a lot more. That's the style of CFB watcher I am. Mm-hmm. Obviously, you got to have a good blend of both. Yeah. But I tend to like a game that's 17-14 or 24-17. If both teams are above 30, I mean, sure, I'm still there. Don't worry. But I'm a little bit less.
The Rose Bowl last year was the perfect game for me.
Yeah, that was great.
Or even the Sugar Bowl, Texas Washington. Yeah. Both went to one went to overtime, one almost did, but it was 34-31. I think. What was Bama Michigan
28-21?
Yeah. Something like that. But it was right there. It was close, but there's still exciting touchdowns, fun scores. There's still some offense, but the defense kind of still held them a little bit.
So the touchdowns mean that much more.
Yes, exactly.
Just means more.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyways, let's get to our Big 12 Conference overview.
Chase, this is more your territory.
I mean,
as BYU, what's their win total this year?
4.5.
Are you taking the over or the under?
Okay, actually, as Showtime, in my biased opinion, yes, I'm taking the over. But even as my unbiased Showtime self, I think that's super low. I think 4.5 is really low.
It's pretty low.
Now, it is a pretty hard schedule for BYU this year. The home schedule is bonkers. Probably of the 6 home games, I would say 4 of those teams will probably be ranked or fringe ranked. Yeah. So no one crazy. We're not talking about any top 5 teams or maybe even top 10, but Oklahoma State, Kansas, Arizona. That's the first off my head. That's 4 straight teams I think could be ranked at the opening week.
Yeah, that's a crazy schedule. But what you were saying, how some of them might be top 10. Maybe when you play Oklahoma State.
Maybe Oklahoma State, yeah.
Or who else? Kansas, maybe.
Kansas,
if they have a great season. But
K-State.
Overall, K-State definitely could. But overall, that's kind of like where my problem with the 12-team playoff comes in, because I think we very well could have 2 9-3 teams enter the Big 12 championship. Like there could probably be 3 or 4 9-3 teams, but it just comes down to head-to-head, and then we end up getting a 10-3 bye from the Big 12, which I think is fine. They're probably one of the better teams in college football. But that's where the 12-team playoff gets a little controversy.
What's the problem with that? Like, what are you saying?
Well, I feel like there'll be probably a 10-2 or even maybe an 11-1 SEC team that won't get that first round bye. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I feel
so your problem is the first round bye alone, not the 12 team, just the first round bye.
I love the 12-team playoff. I think it'll be fun.
Okay, I get your saying.
But I think the first round bye, I think they need to fix it. I think they just need to do top 4 overall.
I'm conflicted on it. I don't know how I feel about it yet.
I get, especially now with the different conferences, but let's say SEC, for example. We could have Georgia, Texas, and Bama all with 1 loss.
And they're all top 7.
They're all top 7. One of them will get the first round bye.
And number 1 probably.
Yeah, the other 2 will be 6 and 7.
Yeah,
and then you have 10-3 Oklahoma State at 4. It's kind of for me, I'm
Yeah.
I don't get that.
No, it's true. It's like the whole if you're an SEC fan, you hate that. If you're a Big 12 fan, you love it.
Yeah.
And so I'm in between. I don't really know what I like yet. I haven't seen it much yet.
I don't know. It's
auto bids can make. That's what makes March Madness so great. Is
the auto bids is fun. That's the thing. And maybe I don't know. Maybe Memphis will go.
Well, I guess
12-1 with the conference championship.
I guess March Madness isn't quite the same because you don't get a seed. You just get bid based on how good you are.
Well, you don't get
if
the
you're
bye.
really bad, you get your 16. Yeah, so
you don't get the bye.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe Memphis or an American team like UTSA goes 11-1 and wins their conference championship.
Well, if they're 11-1 and they win their conference championship, they're probably not even
top 15.
They're probably top 10 maybe at that point.
Yeah,
they don't even need the 12th spot. They're just in.
I think that'd be sweet if an American got the first round bye.
Mountain West, Boise State.
Nah.
Yeah, my CFP 25 team in our online dynasty is Boise State. I did not choose that. I drew it out of a wheel.
Random.
And yeah, I got Boise State. We're freaking cracked in the Mountain West.
It's true.
It's awesome. Boise State's got a good team this year. Got a good team.
Their running back, what's his name?
Jaunty. I don't know how you say his name, but he's
like a top 2
He's
pick.
absurd. He's 91 overall in the game.
First or second round pick for sure.
Yeah.
Me and you have talked about it ourselves and amongst our friends. The Big 12, like we were just talking about, is kind of wide open this year.
It is wide open.
I see probably 4 or 5 teams that could win it.
Yeah. I see 8 or 9 teams.
That's crazy.
But stay with me now. All right. Here are my 8 teams that have a realistic potential to make the Big 12 Conference Championship in no particular order.
Okay.
Iowa State, Oklahoma State, Utah, West Virginia, Arizona, Kansas State, Kansas, and UCF.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's even a second tier that are really close, like Texas Tech, TCU.
Okay.
Those are my 2 that are I've seen people put TCU third in the power rankings of the Big 12. I've seen I don't know what's going on there.
I was just looking before.
I don't know what they're seeing
because I kind of try to just make sure I know what we're talking about. I was kind of just reading through
it's good.
a couple things. Well, yeah, I know, but just seeing what.
Yeah, refreshing yourself.
Refreshing myself. Seeing what CBS, ESPN.
I studied up a little bit.
Every power ranking was different. The top 3 were usually the same.
Oklahoma State, Utah,
usually Kansas State.
Maybe those 3.
Maybe Kansas is tossed in there.
No, but I think those are in the media, those are the top 3.
But the top half is pretty much the top teams you said.
Yeah.
It's Utah, Oklahoma State, Kansas, TCU, and then
Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State.
West Virginia.
Yeah,
West Virginia is the really big sleeper.
Yeah, it's true.
No one's looking at them.
Iowa State, West Virginia are right.
Those 2.
They're the dark horses that are probably 6 or 7 or 7 and 8, power ranking wise in the Big 12.
Oh yeah.
That if they get a couple upsets, they're right there.
Yeah, they're pretty close. And remember, to win, you don't have to win that many games to be in contention for your conference championship.
Yeah.
Like Oklahoma State last year, they were 1-3 in non-conference. 1-2 in non-conference. Lost to South Alabama. I think they barely beat Arizona State, and everyone kind of was like, "All right, this team is garbage."
Yeah, Arizona State was atrocious.
And then they decided to get it together, and they went to the freaking Big 12 championship and beat OU. Well, they beat OU, then went to the Big 12 championship, lost to Texas.
It's true.
But you see that Virginia Tech did it last year. Virginia Tech started out, 0-3, 1-2, and then won a streak of 5 conference games. When you win 5 conference games, you're sitting in the race for your conference championship.
Yeah, they started 0-3 non-conference, losing to Marshall and Old Dominion, but then they won pretty much all their ACC.
That's what's interesting about conference championships is that you get that buffer of the start of the season, you can look really, really bad, but the
as long as
games matter,
as long
man.
as you're 8-1, 9-0 in conference. I guess most teams are only 8 games now, but
Yeah.
as long as you
I think
only
the
have
Big
one-
Ten's the only one that plays 9.
Yeah, to where I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah.
So just throw in the dark ball. You know, who are your 2 teams in?
Whoa.
Just say it right now.
Okay. Well, I want to say Oklahoma State, Utah.
Okay.
Those are the 2 teams I think they're the best 2.
That hurts. That probably hurts you a little bit to say Utah.
No, it's
You've
so
accepted
obvious.
it. You've
I
accepted
can't
it.
really like.
Cam
You guys
Rising-
know I love
I heard
BYU.
Cam Rising's going for his doctorate degree at this point.
Yeah, he's already got it, dude. But no, I mean, I can't. That's what I got, guys. That's my talent. You know, I'm incredibly unbiased when I need to be.
It's true.
And there's no way that Utah is not in the top 3 already
No.
right now. Now, do I think they're overrated by some media outlets? Yes, but I think even Utah fans have a correct grasp on what they're looking at. Most Utah fans are like, whoa. A lot of them are like, we number 1 in the Big 12. I don't know about that. We did go 8-4 last year.
It's true.
Like, I know you guys were injured. We know this. That's all we talk about is how injured Utah was, but you still went 8-4. I don't care how injured you were. You lost to Northwestern in your bowl game. It's 8-5.
yeah,
So, like, you finished unranked. That being said, I think saying Utah number 1 in the Big 12 preseason is just, it's a little bit much.